Hello everyone, and welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. We're so glad you're here, because today we're diving into a story many of you can't stop asking about. We're talking about Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu, and the way the spark between them has seemed to only grow, shift, and deepen over time. If you adore heartfelt celebrity stories, if you love dissecting the details that make a screen partnership unforgettable, and if you're fascinated by how on-screen chemistry can feel startlingly real, this video is exactly for you. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars so you never miss a single deep dive into the romances and rivalries that keep the entertainment world pulsing. Now, let's unpack this captivating connection. From the start, the story of Barış and Elçin feels like one of those rare intersections between fiction and reality. Both are towering figures in Turkish showbiz, each with careers that have soared in impressive, sometimes parallel arcs. Their paths crossed where so many enduring legends begin, on a set. Turkishdrama united them professionally. Do you remember the whirlwind that show unleashed? The series became a runaway hit, and the chemistry between Ömer and Defne leapt from the screen like lightning. Fans everywhere felt it. Something about their dynamic didn't seem like mere performance. It felt textured, lived in, honest. And for many, that was the spark the headlines kept hinting at. It's not just that they played lovers well, it was that every glance and pause became charged. From the earliest episodes, viewers picked up on that rare electricity. Quickly, the internet filled with murmurs. Was there something off camera? Were those smiles hiding a secret? The whispers multiplied. Any shared interview became a clue, any candid moment, a puzzle piece. Their laughter together seemed unforced. The way one would step back so the other could shine was impossible to ignore. Even chance sightings, blurry photos, and vanishing posts set off storms of speculation. The more quietly they navigated it, the louder the curiosity grew. And in a world where attention often shouts, their restraint only made everyone lean in closer. As time went by, the atmosphere around them thickened with intrigue. Fans watched turkishdrama not just as a show, but as a window into something that felt genuine. Online forums poured over scene stills and behind-the-scenes clips, searching for a truth hidden between takes. When two talents with that level of charisma collide, it's hard to convince the public it's all make-believe. Every joint appearance sparked conversation. Every pause in public contact bred new theories. And when subtle confirmations, never flashy, never fully spelled out, seemed to finally arrive, the joy among fans was palpable, like an entire audience exhaling at once after holding its breath for too long. What makes their bond so striking is the aura of steadiness around it. Over the years, they've weathered career shifts, trends, and the natural rhythms of life in the spotlight. Yet the sense people get is not of something volatile, but rooted. This isn't the kind of connection that flares and fades. It has the feel of something that has taken root slowly, quietly, and deeply, like a tree that began as a spark in the writer's room, then sprouted on set, then found a way to keep growing even after the director called cut for the last time. Not a gimmick, not a sprint, but a long, patient walk that somehow brought them further than anyone expected. Consider how they've evolved since turkishdrama. Barış stepped into darker, more intricate roles, proving range and intensity, projects like Kuzgun and, later, a turn that brought him historical gravitas in Alparslan, by He broadened his appeal from heartthrob to versatile leading man with an international following. Elçin, meanwhile, kept dazzling with drama and nuance, embracing characters in series like Turkishdrama and exploring new textures on screen while continuing to embody a fashion-forward presence adored by major brands. She balanced a sharp comedic edge with emotional depth, becoming a trendsetter whose every choice sparked conversation. Professionally, both kept climbing. Privately, they kept things measured, and that restraint felt less like distance and more like diligence. An effort to keep something sacred safe from the glare. So what is it that makes their spark feel so indelible? There's the simple fact of mutual respect. Both know the grind of long shoots, the stakes of big roles, the weight of expectations. They celebrate each other's wins without competing. It never feels like a tug-of-war. It feels like a dance where each takes a turn at center stage while the other steadies the rhythm. That's rare in any field. Rarer still when you're sharing the same industry, often the same spotlight. They seem to understand each other's triumphs and doubts from the inside, and that shared language smooths so much of the noise. There's also the complementing temperaments. In interviews, at premieres, at those rare joint moments where cameras catch them in the same frame, the easy comfort between them radiates. No grandstanding, no need to force a moment. It's a quiet pact, I know you. I see you. I've got you. In the swirl of celebrity, that calm becomes a refuge. And you can sense it, how differences don't divide them but balance them, how the similarities reinforce a sense of home. The energy suggests a bond that's grown past infatuation into something that absorbs friction without cracking under it. Of course, every celebrity pairing faces the gauntlet of the press. Paparazzi lurk, rumors multiply, and the public often wants ownership of something that belongs to two people alone. Barış and Elçin have met that reality with a strategy that seems simple but is hard to execute: say less, do more. They allow the work to speak. They appear when it matters. They cultivate distance where it protects, not isolates. That quiet boundary building has functioned like glass around a candle's flame, thin, transparent, but crucial in a drafty room. The light stays steady because they guard the conditions around it. Time changes people, and that change can test or deepen a connection. What felt like lightning during Karalik Ask could have drifted away with the final episode. Instead, it evolved. What began as a spark grew into a glow sustained by trust, loyalty, and a shared history. The more their careers expanded, the more it seemed they also learned to navigate pressure as a team, cheering loudly when the other vaulted forward, offering shelter when the path narrowed. There's a maturity to that arc. They didn't try to freeze a moment. They let it ripen. Admiration for each other's craft is part of the glue. Both are renowned for preparation, for elevating their scene partners, for commanding attention without stealing it. When you have someone who understands the creative battles, the late-night rewrites, the fragile ego behind a bold performance, support becomes sharper and more effective. They don't just applaud, they get it. They can share notes without wounding, celebrate wins without envy, and absorb setbacks with perspective. That's the kind of empathy that strengthens a bond from the inside out. And the original spark? It never truly dimmed. It transformed. The rush we all felt watching Daphne and Omer wasn't a trick. It was a seed. Over time, it became layered with real-life resilience. Now, when fans glimpse them together, whether at an event, in a photo, or in a shared moment that circulates online, there's that jolt of recognition, followed by a softened warmth. We've seen this energy before, but it carries more weight now. It belongs not to characters, but to people who've moved through seasons and still find each other familiar. The nostalgia that Karalik Ask stirs up plays its part. Old clips resurface and flood feeds. Lines of dialogue become captions, their laughter becomes a daily mood reset for countless fans. People remember where they were in life when Daphne bantered with Omer, when tension simmered, when love felt both funny and devastating in the same scene. Seeing Barış and Elçin now revives those memories, and the past and present overlap like two images aligned on a projector. That overlap is powerful. It keeps the audience invested, not just in what happened once, but in what might still be unfolding between two stars who changed a genre by standing side by side. Their story, as many perceive it, underscores how rare it is for a connection born under bright lights to stay luminous when the lights go out. It shows how restraint can be not a wall, but a frame, how you can protect something not by hiding it, but by giving it room to breathe. The more they invest in their own growth, the more the connection seems to expand with them, elastic and durable. They turn the rush of a hit series into the foundation for something quiet yet undeniable. It's a blueprint for how to keep personal truth intact in an industry that often tries to script every move. We've traced how Karalik Ask laid the groundwork, how they rode the waves of fame without surrendering themselves, and the key elements that appear to hold them fast: mutual respect, unwavering support, the will to keep private things private, and the shared understanding that comes from battling the same storms. It's a reminder that love can thrive even when thousands of eyes are watching, as long as it's anchored in trust and patience. And what's most thrilling is that the ignition that once set the screen ablaze doesn't feel spent. It feels refined, burning steady instead of wild, brighter because it's protected, stronger because it's been tempered by time. Tell us what you think. Have you followed Barış and Elçin since the earliest Karalik-esque days? What moments made you believe their chemistry was more than a trick of the lights? Which scene still makes your heart skip? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read everything, and your perspective helps us shape the stories we tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more features on the bonds, breakups, and breakthroughs of your favorite stars, give this video a like and share it with fellow fans who remember every Omer and Defn glance. And of course, subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars so you never miss what's coming next. Until then, keep your eyes open, keep your hearts ready, and we'll meet you in the next story, where the spark, somehow, always finds a way to grow.